Welcome to the Land Your Bet Sports Betting Show. Game 2 NBA Finals here on Sunday. Just like we all predicted, the Pacers are up 1-0. Still going to be back here in OKC. I'm going to be taking a look at what happened in Game 1, what we can use there in terms of the bets we want to get down for Game 2, and maybe some of the adjustments that we should also try to get ahead of here for Game 2 from Coach Dagnall and Rick Carlisle as well. So that all sounds good. Give this video a like. Let's jump right into things. As we jump into these Game 2 notes, for those of you interested in following along with the WNBA stuff, we have the season pass still going on, $100 for the whole season, so you can kind of get a discount, bypass that monthly fee if you're interested in getting all those plays, plus gives you access to the VIP chat as well and the other cappers in there. So link in the description of the video for you guys interested in tailing along for the ladies game. But looking at Game 2, starting with what happened in Game 1. Kayson Wallace started. That's kind of the first thing that sticks out. He played 33 minutes. Isaiah Hartenstein, that's who he started for. He only played 17. So Dagnall opted to go small from the jump in this game. In the Game 1, we'll see if that continues in Game 2. No reason to believe yet, and really no news coming out who will be starting for them. But we should just probably assume Kayson Wallace for now, and that he will be getting more minutes than Hartenstein. Although I would look for Hartenstein to get a few more than he got in the last game. That's something we'll talk about with these player props in just a minute. The rebounds stand out big time. Indy won the rebounds 56-39. They had a 57% rebound percentage. They had a 35% offensive rebound percentage, which is the complete opposite of what I predicted happening based on the fact that they had the worst offensive rebound percentage in the league in the playoffs so far. Really turn that around. I would expect that to be a point of emphasis, though, for the Thunder, and one of the reasons that perhaps Isaiah Hartenstein gets a few more minutes. OKC blew it when it comes to points off of turnovers. 11 points off of 24 Indy turnovers, and granted, a lot of these turnovers were just the Indy players throwing the ball out of bounds, so it doesn't really leave you an opportunity to go get a fast break against only a few guys back on defense for the Pacers. They still got back on defense well enough, despite the turnovers, that OKC did not take advantage. J-Dub also did not take advantage of 19 shot attempts, shot 6 for 19. SGA, not much better in terms of the efficiency himself. I would expect SGA to up that percentage in this next game, shoot a better percentage. He had a good amount that you just consider bunnies and shots that he would normally make that just went in and out in a Game 1 that maybe he was a little bit tight, right? J-Dub's had this problem the whole playoffs, though, and really since the Denver series, he's been bad. 41% from the field from your second best and most important player on offense, especially. It's going to be something that he has to try to turn around. Might not be able to just beat the Pacers without J-Dub playing better and playing as poorly as he has been so far. Because Kayson Wallace did start, and we're projecting him to start once more, the matchups are definitely a bit different than what I had expected coming into Game 1. Nembhard's still going to be on SGA. Did a good job. I mean, 38 points makes you think Nembhard didn't do a good job, but he did. It's just SGA is going to get his. Siakam was on Dort, which was an interesting sort of wrinkle here because we wanted Nesmith on J-Dub, Jalen Williams, and he is the power forward. That put Halliburton on Kayson Wallace for the majority of the time that he was on the floor there, and then Nesmith on Jalen Williams as a really good defender. Bad matchup for Jalen Williams once again in this game. And then Turner and Holmgren guarded each other the whole game, which led to Turner dominating on the boards much more so than Holmgren, especially because Turner pulls Holmgren away from the basket. It's a big reason why he was an easy under, honestly. The 9.5 boards that he had in Game 1 only had like 11 rebound chances, much less boards to get to 10, right? So feeling good about more Holmgren unders. We'll talk about that in a second. Looking at the other side of the ball here, pretty much what you'd expect. Again, Dort is going to be on Halliburton for the majority of the game and play a good amount of minutes as a result. He was the best defender on Halliburton in this last game and really shut him down really, really well for almost 3.5 more quarters than that. But Kayson then on Nembhard, SGA on Nesmith because Nesmith is playing off ball a little bit more in the corner. That does allow SGA to sort of take a bit of a break on defense. That is the best matchup for him to take that break on defense. So he'll continue to do that. And then J-Dub on Siakam and Holmgren on Turner. That's what we're going to continue to see, I believe, in Game 2. As we jump into these player props, going to be using propsmadness.com, #1 sports betting research tool here for all things hoops and player props. You can use code LYB. Go ahead and get yourself 25% off if you're interested in using this to help yourself. Really big time saver more than anything with Props Madness. It also gets you free 7-day trial if you're interested and want to test it out for yourself before going ahead and getting into this platform. But let's go ahead and go right down the line per usual, starting with SGA, who put up 38 points in this last game, took 30 shots, went to the line 8 times. I told you last game, like 33.5 is a lot of points, but I'm not fading him. Same goes for 34.5. Still not going to be fading him. 38 points in 40 minutes. The place that I'd be fading him is the assists. These went up to 7.5 despite the 11 potentials in this last game. I don't like anybody to get 8 assists on 11 potential assists, especially in the finals. And that's something I don't think is being taken into consideration enough here, is that only Alex Caruso has played in the finals here for this Thunder squad. things tighten up, man. There's a reason that they shot poorly, and it's not just Indiana playing decent defense. It wasn't like stimmying, right? Like there was shots that should have been made for OKC. I believe they shot like 30% when there was nobody within 6 feet, right? So what we consider a wide open shot, they missed a bunch of those. I still think they're going to do that here in game 2, and I don't think it's going to be SGA getting the dimes. I think he's going to continue to take close to 30 shots, man, like 25 plus for him at this point, especially because this Pacers defense is not doubling him. They didn't in the first game anyway. They barely brought the double team. They really didn't bring over guys too often, like the third defender when he's on the pick and roll. They still didn't really bring anybody over, and he was able to get into the lane, get his mid-range, get to all the way to the rim sometimes, and I think Carlisle is going to be okay with that as long as the others aren't beating them as well. That's been his sort of forte all season, and really his whole career for Carlisle is just don't let the shooters go off and go one-on-one with your defenders and trust them. And I think he trusts Nembhard to keep going one-on-one with SGA, which means I don't like the dimes and I still like the points. So it's a nice little, SGP here possible with like 30 plus points and under on the assist for Shea. Get yourself some plus money on a really easy little two-legger there. Still fading J-Dub, man. 33.5. If we're going to be at, and most books have 32, there's a few here with 33.5 that you can go under. And if they're going to give us this for the majority of the series, then I'm going to keep doing it for the rest of the series. He's gone under this pretty consistently. If we just filter this to the playoffs, averaging 31.2, I just don't think he's going to start getting better as things get tighter and more difficult, right? This game went pretty cleanly under the 230 total that we had here in the first game. What was the final was like in the 220s, right? I don't think we're getting to 230 very often, despite these teams liking transition. It's the finals, man, and things just get a little bit harder. Possessions get a little bit slower and choppier, and guys are just missing shots. Like everything's on the line. So I still like the under on the PRA here for J-Dub. He really didn't show me much in terms of the volume. The rebound chances only 8. 10 potential assists. You could argue he ran a bit hot with 6 of them, more likely to get 5 when you get 10 potential assists, right? So I'm still not liking anything for him, despite the high minutes, the high usage. I think under on the 33.5 PRA is going to continue to be the best play for him consistently throughout this series. I also don't trust Chet. Easy for me to say. I don't trust Tret because I just don't think he's going to continue to get minutes, right? He played 24 minutes in this last game. I think he's got a pretty low ceiling, as does Isaiah Hartenstein. Both these guys seemingly going to keep those minutes low. And Chet could have stayed out there, didn't do much on the boards. It was 11 rebound chances that he had in this game to get 6 boards. That's about what you would expect moving forward for him too. It's just if he gets more minutes. So I can't really project it because I thought he would have played more in this last game. I mean, he was like a +6 when he was on the floor. So he wasn't bad in any way that like stood out and made you go, you can't have Chet out there. He was just really timid, right? It seemed like he just wasn't ready for the moment more than anything, which who knows if he's going to settle in and get there in game 2. I still lean under on the PRA at 25.5. If I'm going to play anything for Chet, it won't be an over. Lou Dort at home. Told y'all last game. I'm going to tell you again. I'm just going to keep hitting over on Lou Dort at home. Points or threes. Both of those are good. He's probably good for some steals too. I believe he had a bunch in this last game. He had 4 of them in this last game. Granted, I don't think we're going to see 24, 25 turnovers once again for this Pacers squad. That was an anomaly for sure. But I think 2 steals for plus money is still a pretty good look for him. Steals, points, threes, all good when you're at home for Lou Dort. If you look at him in the playoffs and we split this up by home and away, let's look at more. We can put this on home. He's at 1.8 threes per game. He's at 10.5 points per game, right? In 10 home games in the playoffs. If we change this to away, goes down. It cracks me up every time that he doubles his points when he's at home versus when he's on the road. 5 points per game on the road. Hopefully the books will let us hit 10 under 9.5 or under 10, whatever, when we get into Indiana in this series. But when he's at home, he's good for 10 plus points. He's probably good for 3 plus threes. And I think I'll put a little sprinkle on the steals as well. Another card that I believe that we could see Dagnall play is give Caruso like 3 to 4 more minutes and play him a bit more in the fourth quarter. Kayson Wallace was getting those minutes. Caruso came in when they took both the bigs out, which I don't think will happen again. But I still think Caruso's minutes are relatively safe at about 25 to 30. The thing that scares me more than anything is if this is a blowout, Caruso doesn't play very much in those blowouts. We've seen him take a seat when they're playing in the playoffs. If they win by like a bit more, right? Like let's look at the games where they won by at least, let's say 15 points so far in the playoffs. He's down to 7.4 points per game versus the games where they're not winning by, so much because he's older. So they are happy to let him sit when they've got the game in hand and give some of the experience to the younger guys who haven't been there before. So that would be the thing that scares me about Caruso. But I think at about 10 plus points in this series, that's what he should be at. And if we're going to get that at plus money consistently, like it's about plus 115 on FanDuel and places like that right now, I think that's a good look for Caruso throughout this series. I think I'm willing to take a chance that Isaiah Hartenstein here is going to get a few more minutes. We've got the same rebound prop for him as last game. You can get, drink the juice at -140, take some bad odds. If you want to take 6.5 boards, if you want to take 7.5, that'll get you some plus money, right, on these books. I think the 6.5, at the number that we're at here is playable. I also think you can use it to maybe, parlay with like a money line or something. I do think that the Thunder are going to take this game here and not lose another one like they did in game 1. But I think Hartenstein at 17 minutes still had 12 rebound chances and 9 boards. And he should be the best rebounder on the floor whenever he's out there. He just wasn't out there very much. But if you give him another 4 or 5 minutes in this game, you still have him at 6.5, 7.5 boards. That would be the look that I would have for him in this one. Switching over to the Pacers players, go ahead and give this video a like if you're getting anything out of what we're doing here for the finals. Much appreciated there from y'all. Also appreciate the shout outs on fatherhood. A lot of y'all had some congrats for me, and it was really nice to come back to all that. So much appreciated there for real. But looking at Pascal, it's a lot of the same cat here. Honestly, I'd be a little bit more tentative for too many overs with the Pacers players. There's the likelihood, there's a possibility. Let's not call it a likelihood. Let's call it a possibility that the Pacers get their butts handed to them in this game. We saw this Thunder team after losing game 1 to the Nuggets there in that series, came back out. They scored 87, like a playoff record in the first half in that game. The next game, game 2, could be in line for something like that again and just step on their neck so that the Pacers can't come back. So the player I feel most comfortable still betting on if I was going to take an over is Pascal on the PR. I still think we're getting the value, especially because the boards are at 6.5. I like putting them together, so he's still at the same 25.5 number on the points and rebounds. Actually had a sort of just average game on offense. Took the 15 shots, about 40%, 47% rather there on the shots, and 15 rebound chances is really what I'm looking at, especially in the boards, right? Like I think he's going to continue to be that important on the rebounds, especially because Miles Turner playing a little bit further from the basket. Pascal going to be a better rebounder than most of the guys trying to guard him because he's going up against like the J-Dubs of the world. Sometimes Kenrich Williams out there for a little bit, but he's dealing with smaller guys a lot, right? And that's allowed him to get boards on offense. Had about 4 offensive rebounds in this last game that really helped him get over. I think he should be expected to keep doing that. And then the defensive rebounds are also crucial for this team, as he is normally going to be a little bit closer to the basket and playing off ball, as he's really never on SGA or any of the guards, right? So still love him as the best matchup in this series, especially as Halliburton gets double teamed, and that's going to be one of his first passes out of the double team is to Pascal Siakam, right? Going back to Hallie, I'm not really willing to fade him again. I mean, he came alive, and we actually heard him say, right, when he was mic'd up during the game that, he came out after like the first time out and was like, all right, I got that in me now. I can breathe and settle down. And I think he will settle down a little bit in this game, and that he's the type of player that if he comes back with a much better game in this one, that will help this game stay closer rather than a blowout. That said, I don't want to bet on his points or assists over. I still think he's good for the boards at 4.5. Not sure if there'll be that many more misses for OKC. They missed a ton in the last game. They'll probably do a little bit better in game 2, but still the finals, still expecting more misses and a slightly lower score, which should lead to more rebounds, especially for Hallie against this team. As I've told you, they've been the worst rebounding team in the playoffs, have the Thunder, actually worse than the Pacers. And when it comes to his position, also during the season, bottom 10 here, bottom 4th of the league again here in the playoffs and the regular season when it comes to limiting guard rebounds. So I do like the boards over. I'm not willing to go over on the points and assists, but I'm not going to fade these low. He's even at lower numbers than last game on the PA, right? 16.5 points, 8.5 dimes. I don't like having to fade all of that once again, but I do like over on the boards for him. Miles Turner is going to be a stay away again for me. If you look at his points in this last game, he had 15. 6 of those points came on some threes where when he put it up, I was like, no. Okay, good shot, right? Like it was a backboard bank off from like basically the side of on the baseline. Like how he got that angle for the backboard to go in on that 3 in the 4th quarter was beyond me. Call that luck. The other one was a step back 3 from the other side early in the shot clock where I was like, what the hell? Oh, okay, nice shot. I don't think those are going in this game. And if he's not making those shots, he's not getting the volume. Like he played 28 minutes. That's about what I would project for him. I told you guys he's not going to be back up at 33, 34 minutes like he was when for a lot of those Knicks games. This is going to be a series where he's going to be seeing high 20s at the most. And that's what I would expect from him once again in this one. So I don't think the volume is going to be there for him. He's a stay away or an under before anything else. And then Nemby. These two guys right here, Nemby and Nesmith, they're so crucial for this team. I'm not going to be fading them. And I'm going to continue to like the over PA for Nembhard and the over PR for Neesmith. It's just that simple. I think both these guys should be at about 17.5 PA for Nembhard, PR for Neesmith. Easy for me to say. Hopefully I got that right. But simply put, for Neesmith, he's going to be so important guarding J-Dub. He had 31 minutes in this last game. I could see him playing more. Obi Toppin got a little bit more run because he was playing so well. If Obi's not playing that well, he's not getting those minutes. And those will go back to Aaron Neesmith, probably closer to 34, 35 minutes in this game, as long as it's not a blowout. Everything I say in this episode should be sort of, caveated with as long as it's not a blowout. And for Neesmith here, 19 rebound chances, right? And that's something, even if that comes down to like 11, 12 rebound chances, I still like him for 5.5 boards. Both these teams suck at rebounding. Let's put it that way. And I do think there's going to continue to be a decent amount of misses on both sides as things are tight in the playoffs. So love him for the boards. And then Nembhard, second on the team in touches in this last game, second on the team in passes as well behind Halliburton. He's going to continue to be crucial as Hallie gets doubled. That's why he had the 12 potential assists. That's why he took the 13 shots and got to the 11 shots, but got to the line 5 times, which equated to about 14 field goal attempts. So love Nemby's participation and usage rate to continue to stay high in this series. And closing it out with Obi, because I can't condone an over. I'd be looking at an under for him on PRA. Now, the thing about Obi, and the reason I don't like betting on him in general, is kind of what I was saying a minute ago. When he plays well, they leave him in. So he could play anywhere from 12 to 25 minutes in a game, depending on how he comes out and looks, right? And Carlisle's like, look, if he's got it, then I'm leaving him in. If you don't got it, giving him a short leash. So he's always got a short leash. He's kind of like Buddy Hield in that sense. It makes you a little bit nervous to bet overs, because if the coach sees him come out and suck early, then he's not going to be staying on the floor for very long. All right, y'all, that is all the time I have for you in this one. Going to be coming back, so make sure to subscribe to that page. Don't miss any of the episodes we're bringing you here. Much appreciated on the likes. And if you do want to get those WNBA plays, make sure you check out the description of the video. Got the link for you to the season pass. Get you a little discount on that. So until I see y'all next, happy betting.